Country Fried Minis gave Howl a steak biscuits membership. Country Fried Minis gave McMayo a steak biscuits membership. Country Fried Minis gave Kotex 241 a steak biscuits membership.
Oh, jeez.
Country Fried Minis gave Scooter Pumpkin Shooter a steak biscuits membership. Country Fried Minis gave Hank H a steak biscuits membership.
Memberships are for as little as $1 a month. You get a fun little badge next to your name, biscuit-based emojis in the chat here, as well as priority consideration for joining our community streams events like Tabletop Tuesday. It's $1 a month. It's $1 a month to show support for the channel. And then there's a $5 a month option for you to flex on other members. Oh, Mr. Mike Tess. Oh, how good to see you. I'm sorry. Let me get out of here. Checking the other mic. I think I have to mute that one. One second. Hold on, I'm coming. Let's test this thing out. Oh my god. It's a time attack. Hold on, I didn't put on my apron. How am I supposed to stream without my costume, you know? I did forget part of the costume today. But I think it's too hot. I'm too sweaty for makeup. And by makeup, I mean Stynylrez primer on my face. Let's do this. Bringing it back with the time attack. I have genuinely considered just doing the Naked Apron paint stream. All right, let's do this. It's hot. It's real hot in here tonight. It's real hot in here tonight. But hey, tonight, first off, welcome to the Country Fried Minis paint stream. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Painting Minis with Cameron here on Country Fried Minis. This is the Bullshit Corner. I am Cameron, the country boy in the big city, presenting you once more from the Bullshit Corner to paint some models. We're gonna get a little work done tonight, but I want to preface this episode with another shout out towards people, folks out there. If you're struggling with mental health issues, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or certain members of the Country Fried Minis Discord community. Let us know what you're going through. We can't usually offer more than empathy, but cheers to you and your struggles. Been facing a mental collapse over the last couple days, and today is going to be digging back in to the paint work in an effort to combat that and be productive at the same time. Ben Noir says, painting up my 4-inch Timberwolf as Novacat replete with nebula motif. That is fantastic. I definitely hope to see it as it gets closer towards done. Please share with us. Another Night says, you must have cheats on, otherwise you can't pause during a time attack. Oh, that is true. That is true. That is true. Well, I always play with cheats. I don't play video games with cheats, but I play IRL with cheats on, always. That is true. Yeah. Anyhow, welcome, folks. As we dig in tonight, I decided to just leave my paint station in the state it was, so that y'all could actually, like, kind of see how things are here. Here, let me do this. Let me pan this out, and y'all can kind of see the state of things. It might be better to pan the camera around now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. Let's adjust the zoom. Let's adjust that zoom. Zoomed out as it can go. And y'all can see. Y'all can see the state, the absolute state that the corner is in. I figured that would help show how quickly we can recover from such things, and how easy it is to you know, get a handle on those bad moments and dig right back into our hobby and really get to enjoying things again. It is perfectly fine to step away for 48 hours if you gotta. I mean, unless you're, you know, getting paid by the hour, and then sometimes you gotta suffer through it. But when it's bad and you can't step away for it for a few days, a good cry in the shower is always worth it. I'll post WIP right now. Whip is in Hobby Corner. Ooh, heck yeah. When are you gonna paint an army of flesh-colored mechs? Soon. I think the cheetah men have to come first, to be honest. But a bunch of meaty boys does sound really fun. I left my phone across the room. Let me do that. Let me grab that. All right. Let me set this down for a second. If I were to do this, can I then share this thing here? Hobby Corner. Hold on, I'm opening all of these. I'm opening all of these up. All of these here. Boom, boom, boom. Booyaka chow, booyaka chow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, let's do this. And then I think I can swap this over to the paint stream capture. No, to the, what you call it? To the Hobby Corner capture. Do that real quick. Do that just real quick, like. We'll go to the workflow. What is this doing? Why is this still
Country
playing
Fried
stuff?
Minis gave Kotex 241 a Steak Biscuits membership.
Why is it still playing stuff?
Country Fried
Okay,
Minis
let's
gave
just keep
Scooter
rolling.
Pumpkin Shooter
All
a
right,
Steak
so,
Biscuits
taking a
membership.
peek at what you got here. This is our reference picture.
Country
And,
Fried
we're
Minis
looking
gave
at
Hank
the
H a
Mad
Steak
Cat,
Biscuits membership.
like base layers. I'm assuming this is all done airbrush. It looks like it to me, at least. Let me pop this up real quick. Yes, looks. I'm assuming this is airbrush. I mean, you could probably get that kind of work with dry brushing. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it does look like some nice smooth airbrush layers. Starting to put in the starburst in the background there, and then I see a bunch of spots for star or hand brush. Okay, well, I gotta hand it to you. Whatever dry brush you're using, you have really gotten down the gradients between colors. I would definitely do it airbrush myself to kind of cheat, but I use cheats, like I said. Oh yeah, I think you've got the foundations of some really good stuff. The use of the white stripes here is going to add some really fun depth. I like that you've used the starburst effects, but not too overdone. And then having the blue spots in the back, it's going to work for a really neat effect. Yeah, I think you've captured it. And as you detail it up, it's going to look fantastic. I can't wait to see more of this fun mech. I might have to try that myself, to be honest. But anyhow, let me switch this back to the... thank you for the share, Bandon Noir. And a reminder to folks, usually I'm not at the computer over here, though it is simple for me to just hop up and put this on the screen. If you want to share your stuff while we're streaming, I can always put it up on the big screen. Whether that means putting my phone in front of the camera over there, or jumping over here. With that said, let's hit this thing and go back to our paint stream capture. Yeah, fantastic work. All right, heading back over that corner. I was actually just jumping up to grab this phone, but yeah, it's easy enough to tag the thingamabob here to do the job. All this set up. Oh shit, I didn't mute the mic over there. Hold on. I gotta mute this mic or we'll have double audio all night. Here we go. I can't believe that that's hand brush. That's crazy. You're an absolute mad lad. Okay. Looks like we're ready to roll. Sitting back down, getting back set in. Let's go back to paint stream. Okay, well, welcome for real this time. We're only 13 minutes in, and I think we're actually going to start to get started. I have left my wet palette out to dry since last time. We only got that one color done. I did find the cable. Preparation is 98% of the Guna, yeah. Hey there, thanks for the gifted membership. Whoever gave me that, yes, you're very welcome, good sir. Though I have no control over who gets them. YouTube must have some like prioritization algorithm, and it decided to prioritize you. It's easier to do that kind of dry brush on a mech as big as a He-Man. Oh yeah, that's fair. I don't have them on hand, but I did some HAFSA models for Infinity, which are like a specific type of infantry, and I did their jumpsuits in a blend, kind of those same colors, but I did it with like heavy wet blending instead. Speaking of which, I recently discovered that sounding with Tiger Balm actually cures boredom. Oh yeah, it'd be hard to be bored when the inside of your dick is on fire. I imagine that'd take care of some exercise needs too, because you'll be sprinting for sure. All right, let's get this thing wet. Surveillance wizard, I'm on the naughty list. I guess. I tried to kick one out your way. And of course, never any pressure to join up as a member, but anybody out there who's catching this who would like to show support for the channel, consider it for as little as $1 a month. Patreon is the best way to show support, honestly, or buying a commission over at fiverr.com/Thurston Studios. But really, just showing up and chatting is the best. Watch the content. You know you need country fried content in your life. All right, this is almost ready. It's a little off center. All right, we've recovered here. Let's soak up that extra off the surface of our wet palette of our parchment. Slightly more effective than chili oil. It must be the menthol. It interacts with the mucus membrane. I think there's no space between RAC and 5 to redeem that, Mr. Kotex. Okay, so digging back in where we were last time, I got, what, 7 patches on 2 mechs, and I started working on this third one, and I discovered that we had a little bit of uncured resin, which now cured, but it left a really shiny look. See if we can't fix that real quick with a little bit of black paint. We could blast one of the squares over top of it, actually. I think that might be a more elegant solution. I wonder if I could smoke a Newport with my goon cannon. I don't know if that's possible. You'd have to be able to create the suction somehow. I don't know how you do it. No service, security alert, there we go. Gambling, the gambling is happening. Down under 1,000. How do we, what if I do this? And then, how do I spell this? A-N-C-E. Let's do one of these. Boom. Let's see if that works. What if I could create a urethral vacuum using a basic lower abdominal exercise regimen? I don't think basic lower abdominal exercise regimen would do it. I think you need to really do some advanced Kegling. Damn, Kotex, you're getting hit hard. I don't understand it. It's just like no fucking coins for you. All right, let's run a little bit of medium sea gray, and I think we had this at a 2-to-1 ratio. I won the duel. Jesus. Kotex, it's all gone. How do I, let's create some inflation in the biscuit coin economy. Kotex 2, 1. Let's just fix that real quick. Can't have this. Every gambler knows you quit right before you hit big. Yeah, exactly. Just one more. Just one more. I recall playing a hopelessly addicted gambler in one of the 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons campaigns I played in, and my character also had some like paranoia problems. So I went to the gamble place, and I basically borrowed money from the local casino, like loan shark guy. And I went in, and we had a gambling game set up, and I just kept doubling +1. I'd hit it and I'd win, and I'd double +1, and then I'd hit it and I'd win, and I'd double +1, and then I'd hit it and I'd win, and I'd double +1. And I ended up winning so much gold that it was like legitimately a problem to move it around. And my character got really paranoid about it. And I hired basically a goon squad to cart it back for me. But fearing that after paying back the loan shark guy, that they would just come after me, I concocted this really convoluted plan to get the coins back, and then I took a stack of gold and stuck it in my asshole and fucking left, expecting to get robbed. I never did get robbed, but I had a stack of gold in my butt, right in my prison wallet. It was good. It was a good session. I felt a little guilty. Felt a little guilty because the session kind of devolved into just me gambling for a few hours. But I think the other guys got a kick out of it. It was fun. And from then on, Iswal the Kobold was forever paranoid that someone was going to steal his gold. I thought myself nobility with the amount of money that I had made, but, you know, kobolds are slave races in D&D. Nightbot reminding folks that you can check the loyalty store at the Streamlabs link in the chat. I believe it's also in the description down below if you want to redeem your coins for fun stuff like, redeem, how do I do this? Exclamation point, redeem, what are we redeeming? We're redeeming Borgir. Pal. Yes. Yes. Okay, we got some paint mixed up. Let's dig into actually doing some work. And I believe we were working with the, what is this? The Vallejo 1 detail brush. After playing Morrowind, any beast race not being a slave race is surprising. Yeah, I agree. It was a subject we touched on a lot in that campaign. Humans were really racist towards non-human humanoids, and especially like demi-humans, you know, elves, dwarves, etc. Orcs kind of were closer to the beast territory in the way they were treated, but like the humans in this world were really racist towards dwarves and elves, and it made it tough to like engineer interactions without that kind of bias between parties. Really fun, a really fun scenario. We had like a ongoing campaign where can't remember all the high points, but there was this whole thing about working with the Thieves Guild to build a like an encampment. We were basically funding a really big Thieves Guild operation, and part of our like post-quest duties were to like direct what was going to be built for the next time, where funds would be apportioned within the Thieves Guild, etc. It's great. It ran for like, I want to say it was 3 years, maybe longer than 3 years actually. I know that we had a Halloween event that happened every Halloween, and we did it 3 times. So wherever the time went on that, I'm not sure. It was like a full 3 years or a little over. It was a lot of fun. It's where I learned about Roll20, and yeah, it was a good time. Look, don't get me wrong, I love a one-shot, digging in and playing like a module with some friends, but I definitely think that when RPGing, you get the best return out of playing a character for a really long time and like investing in your own story arc. All right, 1, 2, 3. Is that all we got? We got 3 down, and then I found the problem on this mech. It looks like it. Let's put a 4th back here. We're just doing squares. We're just doing various squares of varying sizes and gray colors. Let's put another one right here. Boom. Like that. Just breaking up the silhouettes. I hope that's half-ass in focus. I can't tell right now. Not really. It's a little out of focus. If I move this, is it better? I can't tell. I have to wait on the board gear. How is that focus? I mean, that looks about as good as it's gonna get. I just need to paint closer to the mat, I think, to compensate for it. Just has a peeping Tom named Oliver, one of the only cats I know who loves belly rubs. What? Kitty cat? You have a cat? I like cats. I'm generally a fan of cats. I want a cat.
Geez.
I'm ready for a cat in my life. Those of y'all who hang out in the Discord voice chats know that my building's management has started cracking down on people for owning pets, because it's technically, not even technically, it's explicitly a violation of the lease here, unless you have exemptions for service animals and emotional support animals. So I'm thinking I want to plead my case to my doctor and see if I can't get a prescription for a cat. Didn't get notified yet again. I have noticed that the notifications are all messed up, Comstar. I noticed on my main... What's happening with this gray? It's like breaking down into a green color. I've noticed on my main YouTube Studio page for the app, it's not like... I've only been getting notifications of people uploading stuff. Like, I'm not getting notifications for comments or shares or any of that stuff. So I know that the YouTube notification system's fucky. Kotek says, my parents have a dog. He's really sweet, but a cat does seem like less work. YouTube's been trying to hide Cameron. They found out about the gunning. Yes. Got your Kickstarter on Monday. Damn, I can't believe like how much they've been struggling with the like quartermaster delivery. Look, I know it's like a huge undertaking, right? And it's not just as simple as throwing everything in a box and going. But I don't know. It also seems like Catalyst has really been mishandling it a bit. I'm guessing due to the size of their project, it's been a nightmare for them. I recently got my my Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Kickstarter delivered finally. They're preoccupied trying to goon blast me with election crap. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm ready for election season to be over here in the U.S. I fear for communities right now where people are ideologically opposed. It's kind of scary. I will say, 1, claim Kickstarter was way worse, but 2, will not ever back a CGL Kickstarter ever again. I think the Kickstarter is a really bad model. It's anti-consumer. It cashes in on your FOMO. And it creates huge logistic problems for the companies running these things. Yeah. I do yearn for, like, it'd be better to just, you put the products out and you put them on the shelves instead of doing some exclusive bullshit. I'm really fed up with Glass Cannon right now. They're doing the Apex Legends board game Kickstarter, and They're like months behind now. The last update was they were supposed to deliver it by the 5th of September. Oh my fucking god, I just broke that bottle! God damn it. Alright, where'd that piece go? Where the fuck did it go? Where the fuck did it go? Is it a clean break at least? Can we fix this? Can we fix this? Can we fix this break? I specifically printed these in the new resin so they wouldn't do this. And that just shattered like glass. It fell from here to there. About that far. Fell about that far and it shattered. UK will get the Kickstarter stuff just in time for the clan invasion, about 34. Yeah, exactly. Let's get out. Where's my stickers? They're up here. Let's get out a Lecherous sticker and get some glue out, y'all. I wasn't expecting to need a guest pal for this. In all fairness, CGL, even with all the waiting, they're doing better than 90% of the Kickstarter and Clan Invasion was on par. Yeah, it's got to be a nightmare. All right, let's pick a sticker out of my Lecherous stack. How about this one? How about this one? How about this one, y'all? Is that one okay? Is that safe for YouTube, you think? Appropriate even? Here, let's get some focus on that. Let's get some focus on that. There. Let's go 65% or 65 degrees. Let's get right in on that. Yes. All right. All right. Do we have glue left? I think my glue's just about done. Before we can get started, let's get out a needle. Let's get out a needle. I like this big fat one here. And let's sound the tip here, just to make sure that glue is nice and flowy. It tends to get a little gooped up in there, and you want to clean it out really good. I think it's one aspect that a lot of folks tend to forget to do is to clean inside the hole when working with their super glue. I hope they don't do another Kickstarter. I really don't want Battletech to fall in that cycle of Kickstarter. Yeah, and unfortunately it's been super successful for them, so I think they're probably going to continue down that way. I am a little scared that, I mean, they've probably blown their load on the clan invasion. I can't see them really like continuing too far. Alright. The issue with CGL is they do fuck all to communicate with people. I get better news about Kickstarter from Facebook fan pages. Remove head from rump. You are a professional company. Trained professional. Even. Trained professional. How do I even do that? It's redeem AWWJEEZ. CGL has burned the bridge so far as KS are concerned, plus they refuse to put a muzzle on one of their authors.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Where's my damn toothpicks? I think they're across the room. I'll just use this old dirty one. Use this old dirty one here. I used to... That looks like texture paste on it. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Shout out and thanks to Iron Elemental for that clip. Oh, yes. Get some glue on there. We want to try to minimize how much spillover this glue we have. And I think what we'll do is we'll take our BSI Instaset and we'll pre-coat this connection point right here with a little accelerator. But that does mean what we have to do is be really focused on smashing these parts together in a quick and accurate fashion. So we're going to find the connection point. We're going to ram it together. And I think I fucked up, actually. Bet you never thought. Okay, that looks all right. It looks like it's adequately gap filled as well. While we're at it, let's take a little bit of our sticky fluid and work it in there to really reinforce that joint. And what we'll do, we'll compensate with the paint later to make this joint look. Oh, I love motorcycles so much. Oh yes, motorcycle, yes. Make your motorcycle noises for me. All right, so we're gonna build up some super glue and we're gonna try to keep it on top of the joint. That way it makes sense. What's the story behind those cursed stickers again? Okay, so there's this whole trend that happened in my hometown for a little while, back in Tennessee, small town Tennessee, where these places popped up that basically bought Amazon returns off of a truck. They'd buy them by the pallet, and they'd set up these bins in the middle of a floor, and like people would come in and they'd buy the items from the Amazon returns for really cheap, like $1 per item. And my mom got really addicted to going down there, and she was picking up these stickers, and she would often have the kids, my sister's kids, with her. So she ended up scooping up all these, like anytime she'd see these waifu stickers, she'd scoop them up, and I'd be like, I'll take them off your hands. So I ended up with a whole bunch of them, whole bunch of them, like a cringe amount of very inappropriate stickers. Yeah. And there are some in here that I don't even think, like, I don't think showing it all is worth doing. But I also have Pokemon stickers, and that's kind of where the guest palette thing spawned from. But yes, I have a lot of big titty, inappropriate cat girl waifu stickers. It's very cringe. Very cringe. But that's fine. Because we've opened the door to cringe here on the channel, if you weren't aware. I basically have an infinite supply of them now, as far as the scope and scale of mini painting projects on this channel go. Let's try to get this camera ready, and we're going to go back to painting. Can't believe I broke this model. This whole arm is going red anyway, so we're not worried about it right now. So let's continue with our pale gray. And we're just gonna find some spots that look like it wants a square of pale gray. And we're gonna put these down. It is a little unfortunate too, though, that these patches of color are going to be really, really reduced once we hit them with the ink wash. As you can see with these guys, they're still there a little bit here and there, but not like super pronounced. And they'll probably be even more diminished once we do the highlights on them. But it's fine. That's fine. Put one on the inside of this gun arm here. About right there. I like when the little squares kind of overlap a bit. He's waiting. He's waiting for her. Mega Woman is just like, is it just a Mega Man clone except she's busty and pink and fires like a different color projectile? Or is it like full cringe territory and is like just like absolute weeb fuckery? I'm okay with either. I'm not a weeb myself, but if you out there are a weeb, I don't hate on you for it. There is earnestness and cringe, yeah. Hey, if you want to be cringe, more power to you. I can't even say it's not my cup of tea, because some of the stuff we do here on the channel is extremely cringe. Okay. I think that's a fair amount of the light colored panels, patches, whatever you want to call them, squares. So let's move on to the next lab. She could have stayed. That'll take us weeb adjacent. I will die on that hill. Yeah, I agree. It's, yeah, I think that's accurate. I like BattleTech more for like the I like the feudal style lordships and the rivalries therein. I find that really fun. The intrigue and the like the proxy battles. I love the concept of mech on mech action as champions for some nobility's bullshit reasoning. It's super fun. There's just more squares on these lads. We'll go back later and fill in the sections that need metallics. But for now, we just want to develop these squares. Again, we're going for that like kind of quasi splitter, like a digital version camo pattern in like an urban color. And then they're gonna get the bloody arm because they're a melee centric force, so they all get that fun bloody hand. Like a weird Crimson Fists for battle mechs. You know, speaking of Crimson Fists, I need to maybe paint up some mechs in Space Marine colors. It'd be really fun. My favorite part of BattleTech is doing war crimes against the bad guys. Yes. You can see all kinds of mech on mech action over on the CFOF. Ah, yes. Not yet. I haven't uploaded there yet. So, you can't mislead the folks yet. Soon. I do want to paint up some of my more racy models, my cringe models, and upload them to OnlyFans at some point. Country Fried OnlyFans will always be free. Always free content. Okay, real talk though. Why the fuck y'all talk so much crap about my beloved Capellans for being space commies, but all our factions are neo-feudalists, which is the same damn thing. Oh, because it gets a rise out of you. Pure and simple. Capellans did no wrong. I think in this you just kind of pick a side and then pretend like your side doesn't do the bad things that they do. I will always think Kurita's the bad guy. Just straight up. I even adhere to the whole like the xenophobic belief that Cretans just wholesale execute down mech pilots. It's coffee strong. I did paint up some Capellans the last time I painted my own lance. Can't remember what they were. They were like the blue star irregulars or blue something. They were Capellans. Like a Capellan militia force. That's why they were jobber mechs. What was that set? It was a Vindicator, a Centurion, a Cyclops. I can't remember the last mech in it. Did I paint those on stream? No way, Kurita's done nothing wrong. Kintari's was a measured response to the cowardly murder of the coordinator. Yeah, exactly. I love it. See, this is what I love about it. Unlike real world conflicts, you can just like pick a side and justify it on either side, like regardless. I like that there are no explicit space Nazis in BattleTech. You can get like full on adjacent, but there is no explicit like this guy's a bad guy. Did we already do this one? I can't tell. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it now. Okay. This is the pure medium sea gray. And I think next what we'll do is we'll do a sea gray and white mixture. We do need some dark colored splotches in there too. I don't think we're going to go full black, but we might do a black and German gray mix as the next color after the really bright ones. I feel like they're all based off pre-World War empires, all the BattleTech factions. Like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. I think it goes like even like further back. There's definitely like some War of the Roses type shit going on. Let's put a square right here. And so the trick here we're doing with these squares, just like if you can imagine projecting that shape just onto the mech, we're going to paint them on and completely ignore the shapes around it. We just want to break up the pattern. And that's how these squares could, in theory, work as a camouflage. Just breaking up that silhouette. Put one across the back here. Try to get some paint on top of that spot where we had some uncured resin from before, which is now cured. I did find my cable. I actually found my cable right around the time I closed the stream. Y'all can believe it. I sat down at the other computer defeatedly and looked down, and there it was. Got that sweet logo. Outworlds Alliance. Who? Hold on. Who is Outworlds Alliance? Outworlds Alliance. Camo specs. Camo specs. I put X's instead of C's. Outworlds Alliance. Let's take a peek. Is this the logo you mean right here? That's silly. We don't want air wings. Ooh, Long Road. Wait, Long Road is Outworlds Alliance? Is that really no image? Do we really not have any paint schemes listed here? Or is the website just not loading? Alright. Outworlds Alliance mechs images. Tell me Camo Specs doesn't have any images for them? Like we're doing some brown and tan. That'd look really good actually. That'd look kind of awesome. Brown and tan and like a gray white. Yeah, I could see doing that. I could see doing that. Oh. Okay. Anyhow. Bug just got done dry brushing 32 vehicles, and that's one of 2 companies' new vehicles. Oh, heck yeah. Who? Oh, the periphery. No one cares about the periphery. I bet it's all tanks and infantry. By 3050, they're basically a pirate haven with a pitiful government. Yeah, I love it. It's an excuse to use the like shittier mechs, lower quality ones. You could even use like the mech creation rules to like adjust your BV based on like wasted tonnage and whatnot, or use the variants that have a bunch of rocket launchers instead of like professional military grade equipment. I love the idea. I think if I were to do like a periphery state, I'd do like a few mechs, like a lance of command mechs that were like really lovingly cared for and kept in really like pristine order, and then they're just backed up by a ton of shitty vehicles and infantry. It's also a really good point to introduce like Franken-mechs as well. I love a good Franken-mech. In fact, I've been using a Corsair in my current playthrough of Mech Warrior 5. It's a really fun mech. Let's see, it's got 2 SRM4s, 3 SRM4s. It's got 3 SRM4s, 3 AC2s, a medium rifle, and 2 small pulse lasers. It wouldn't be super effective on the tabletop, but it'd still be really fun thematically to throw it out there. Alright, I want to get one more little panel of the light gray, maybe right here, and then we can move on to another color here. I think we'll do the even brighter. We'll do the 50-50 sea gray and white mix, and then we'll do the blood red of the arms. And we can maybe get these lads onto an ink wash by the end of the evening. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. I think this next week we're gonna have just a lot of back-to-back paint streams. I have a lot to work on. So keep an eye out for that this coming Monday. Rocket launcher archer's hilarious. Yeah, exactly. I play Cappies. I don't need an excuse to use crappy mech. But you can also use like lots of Vindicators. And I wouldn't call a Vindicator a bad mech at all. Cat just ate food. Yes. You'd rep Canopus. Canopus probably has a place for gooning, specifically like a whole city or continent dedicated. No. I think that's a mischaracterization of the freedoms that people experience. Just because like that one player has the freedom to do cybernetic cat girl enhancements to their body, doesn't mean the entire populace is doing it. Just saying. All right, so we're gonna take some 70.951 white, and we're gonna add 3 drops into that. We're gonna wipe off the tip so it doesn't get all crusty with white stuff. No, at Nathan, it's an entire lightless moon dividing 1,000 of independent base themselves, all equipped with VR headsets. Oh, what was it called in Cyberpunk? Brain dances? Canopus is pretty on it about the sex stuff. No, I don't think that's true. I don't think it's like any more like sexual than other pleasure places, but like they're just more free about it. Their people are allowed to be themselves. It's like Canopus is almost like a fucking libertarian paradise, but with like fiercely socialistic people's rights. They got the stereotype, but they earned this. No, the stereotype is unearned. It's based off of a single drawing. Oh no. Trying to pull off poster tech off the feet of this mech here. I just looked over and happened to see it. It's become like part of the mech now. This is going to be tough to clean up. Oh well, we'll worry about that in a minute. Like a monastery, but nobody does kung fu. Oh, they do kung fu grips though. Alright, 1 drop of water. Let's get back to work. Back to work. I'm going to brighten this stuff up even more. It's a nice 50-50 DMC gray plus white mixture. Not ivory this time because we want to keep the white and the gray kind of in like a cold territory. Is this the Dudum song? It is the Dudum song. Dudum. 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 Alright, more little squares. We're going to try to do like 7 on each mech. Again, I think the strategy here is something that I've expressed a lot when working on models. We're not necessarily going for realism in this pattern here. We're trying to sell the idea to the viewer. I use this argument a lot as to why we paint flame color backwards. Because it makes more sense. It reads better. I also think the Canopus has slavery as well, or at least they don't penalize it. Yeah, I think that's probably true. You're probably right there. They probably cleverly word it as like, you know, indentured servitude or something like that. But we all know what it is. The concept of the Battletech galaxy is kind of terrifying to think like how many worlds there are. Like if you thought you were insignificant now as a member of the populace of the Earth, you know, you don't mean shit in the grand galaxy. So you know, I'm sure that's why some of like the BattleTech human rights violations are such a thing. So many people. Taurians have super strong social programs for their people and prioritize education and skills. I think they have relatively free society as long as you're born a Taurian. Yeah. You're saying the community took a single image off context and ran away with it, forming an entirely unintended canon? Yes. Thinking lore, all cat girls are slaves augmented against it. I don't think that's lore. I think that's community lore and the weebs making maids out of their cats. I don't, the cat girls is not lore. It's not canon. It's an extrapolation of a drawing in one of the books and some kind of like augmentation in one of the RPG books. And people have just run with it. Has Tex done a part in like accepting that Canopian cat girls are a thing and help disseminate that idea out to the masses? Is this Tex's fault? I mean, that said, like I'm not against the idea of them existing in the world. I love that it pisses people off. I really love that it pisses people off. The galaxy's too big to be a purist about shit in BattleTech. With the exception of weaponry. Power creep in weaponry is silly. I'm generally not okay with it. That's really more a condemnation of MechWarrior 5's Solaris DLC, though, with their PPCX. All the weirdest sex stuff done openly in a commercial context is in the Magistracy of Canopus. Yeah, well, they're known for having pleasure worlds. So that probably helped with the extrapolation of, like, cat-girl pleasure chambers. Though it's not canon. It's all fan-based, like, extrapolation where they've run wild with it. On this lad. Continuing. Just put one there. I think we can maybe put one down here. Right across this. Yeah. Let's do that. Just breaking up that silhouette more and more. And later on, I think we'll go back in with do maybe like a light mid-gray dry brush and then a targeted edge highlight afterwards. That was in the 1990s Canopian Faction Guide. Of course, lore can be expanded upon or changed, and that book's out of print by 20 years. Interesting. I need to check out that source book. I think this could be a fun, like, fun dialogue opportunity. See if I can't get some opinions out of some other BattleTech YouTubers on the subject. I'll reach out and see what Tuck Davion has to say on it. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to hear a Cameron Talks BattleTech Canopian Catgirl edition. I really don't want to go into the lore stuff too much, though, to be honest. I think I think it can be fun, but I think it can quickly shoehorn a creator into doing just that type of content. You know, I gotta remind folks too that Country Fried Minis was never meant to be just a Battletech painting channel. But, I mean, look at what Big Urban Mech did to this little channel. Lore takes too much research. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I think you might be onto it. Plus, I am playing with the idea of lore videos for the members anyways, in the form of Wolf Bill, Chronicles of the Wolf Bill. Maybe do like a 15-part series about like where the Wolf Bill comes from, how it was adopted in intergalactic trade, the problems that people have changing their wolf bills because there is no change for a wolf bill. And if you don't know about a wolf bill, then you just gotta watch more Country Fried Minis. If I can find my copy of the book again, I'll send you the less than paragraph of the cat go. Yeah, that'd be really fun. I'm gonna, if I can remember to do so at least, I'd like to start researching that book as well. I'll either have to locate a copy or see if one of my less than legal sources has a PDF. Which actually opens the opportunity to talk about less than legal information sharing. How do y'all out there feel about it? How do y'all feel about the sharing, the public and free sharing of information in the form of books? And I guess a supporting question for that is, does having access to freely pirated materials make you any less likely to buy the product? I'll answer that. I'm okay with piracy, but I'm also for supporting the creators. And no, my pirated PDFs do not keep me from buying and searching for copies, hard copies of books. Not at all. Not at all. We at Country Fried Minis have a share freely but support when you can afford it policy. None of the people involved are losing money on a book that's no longer available. Ah, exactly. Exactly, you should do your own lore. Wolf Bill's Gooning Squads and silly non-canon lore. Yeah, exactly. Drive-thru RPG might have. Okay, good to know. I'll take a peek. I feel like you couldn't get an exchange for Wolf Bills without going about it the hard way. Yeah, it is the hard way. You exchange it for a mech that's closest to the value of your wolf. Here, let's do a segue, because y'all know all about it. Here we go. We got to open up a discussion I've had. I've been running all my ideas into the AI Dungeon Master. All right, Wolf Bill. Okay. Here is the full and exact information currently stored about wolf bills. The value of the wolf bill is the value of one ANH-1A Annihilator. The value of the wolf bill is the value of 2 HOP-4C Hoplites. The value of the wolf bill is the value of 3 FFL-4A Fireflies. The value of the wolf bill is the value of 4 FLE-17 Fleas. These 4 simultaneous values that are held simultaneously is called the rule of 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. There is no change for a wolf bill. They must be exchanged for whole wolf bills or these chassis to derive the value. Physical wolf bills are canonically beach towel size and made to be absorbent, but exactly 69% absorbent. They may have been created specifically to inconvenience the Waco's Rangers. And They are listed as either 100 tons each or 0.7 pounds each when shipping costs are concerned, dependent on the consumer. Yes. Never forget the rule of 1, 2, 3, 4 when trying to exchange your wolf bills on the free market. I think I distract him at a higher percentage than my peers. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. And I mean, I have fun with the distractions, so yeah, keep them coming. All right, let's put in some more gray. Look, when you're doing monotonous work like painting little squares on gray mechs, these type of distractions are more than welcome. Now, I guess the question is that guilt or pride that you're feeling right now? You caused the coffee incident? No, I disagree. My own ineptitude caused the coffee incident. Did I keep streaming that day? That didn't kill the stream, right? I think that really goes to show how bad things actually are. Whether or not the stream dies after some shit goes down. Alright, another little square, little squares. Little squares of light colors. They'll be very muted later, too. So let's do one right across the tip of the knee here. Man, this brush is getting a little dog-eared. Y'all see that? Am I out of frame? Trying to be cognizant of that. Let's put another one down here. So this guy also ended up with like some damage on him somehow. I don't know if it's from my printer or like built into the STL. We're gonna paint it up like some battle damage later on. Right here. All that mess right there. That's gonna get just like really fucked up looking. Okay. Need a little bit on the torso as well. Maybe like right there. Just let that light gray do its thing. I think that's a pretty good spread of this color. I want some on the inside of a leg somewhere. Do one right here, maybe. What is this track? About to miss it. New Frontier by Ben Elson. You'd think I'd know all these tracks by now, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. All right, there we go. So that's 2 leads with the current color of gray. By the way, I hate these turrets on the new vehicles. I haven't actually seen the new vehicles. Inept titty dude. What? There's more little pride that sometimes I feel like it's disruptive. Yes. Well, I mean, the disruptions are fun. That's where the fun is really derived. All the best painting and editing actually happens behind the scenes when I'm not streaming. But the funnest and most memorable moments happen with the streaming. Oh, speaking of, my my colored sprues are all melted down into goo. They have joined the goo mass. That blue dye was a little heinous, though. Work that thigh gap. Ah, yes. Alright, so we need to do the same. One more on the Scarabus, which that arm feels nice and secure now after the break. So let's keep up with the same thing. Going for nice little squares. Little squares here and there. Go for 7 of them, I think. I'm gonna do one right here, maybe. Song makes me think of Axiom Verge. If you haven't played that and you're a fan of Metroid, big recommend. Axiom Verge is really good. Really good time. I may replay it, actually. Replayability isn't super high on those games, I don't think, but this one's really good. Oh, there is a second one, though. Alright, there's 2, 3. That's 3. 3 of these. Let's do a 4th one over here, maybe. Kind of towards the bottom of this arm, I think. Fourth little square. We'll make this a kind of big square, actually. Damn it. I just slipped with the brush a bit. Now I have to expand the whole dang thing. There we go. Put one right across this vent. And we'll be coloring in that vent in silver later, so we don't have to worry about the inside of it. There we go. Looks pretty good. That intersection will be colored in later. Let's do one on the inside of this thigh here. Right there. Get some weird layer lines happening on the inside of this leg. I wonder why. Maybe picked a weird orientation when printing it. Put one down here, maybe. Yeah. And put it kind of bridging the gap between both of these squares underneath it. Kind of want to try to get an even distribution of just like squares hanging out on their own, and sometimes overlapping. Let's try to sharpen that corner here, and that one too. There we go. I see some from the front. I want to find a spot for one more here. I think on this waist might be a really good spot for it. So up and across that. Now, one thing that I find really hard about painting camo patterns is on dynamic models too. It's like logically you'd give a little thought to where the camo shapes would be moving around, but from a painter standpoint, like, are you really going to put in that much effort? There we go. Cool. All right, what did we say was going to be next? I think we're going to switch gears here a little bit and put down some red. And I believe these were just Mephiston red. So that's what we're going to go for here. So let's do that. Another Nate called for a popcat. I want a popcat. I want a popcat. I want a popcat. P-O-P-C-A-T. Phenomenon. A great phenomenon. I hope the person who's responsible for popcat out there realizes what they've done to the world. Also, tell me what book you were looking for, see if I had it. It's something to do with the Canopus. Magistracy of Canopus. It's probably listed as a source book. Here, as soon as I'm done rubbing this out, I'll give it a quick googe. The ferrules of this brush are kind of fucked. The ferrule itself is kind of gunked up a bit. Just gonna give it a little rub down, a little love, a little stroking. Kind of pull on it a bit. I'm about to dip this brush into a GW pot is why I'm taking a little extra time here. Keep that good and cleaned out as best we can. I'm not going to dip it all the way to the ferrule, but, you know. Weathering a dynamic model also presents some interesting challenges. Common sense says things like rain marks and sun fading will be more prominently oriented to the way the mechs stand powered. Yeah, that makes sense. But your, you know, your camo patterns are also going to be painted on in such a way that would be conducive to stand down. Whether dynamic model it presents to your eyes wrong. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. What was it we were looking for? Magistracy of Canopus, and we want to look for source book. I think it's going to be in the periphery source book. The periphery, which is FASA 1629. Where's our image? Where's our image of the cover? Where's our image of the cover? Here it is. Image. Why? Images. We're looking for the periphery. There it was. The periphery source book. This one. I guess there's two different covers for it. Oh, interesting. There's a source book and there's also a field manual. I don't know which one you'd be looking for. But I think this is the one you'd want right here. The periphery source book. Nice. Got it. The periphery. Fuck yeah. Excellent. Yes. Illegal file sharing. Oh. You know what? Why am I doing this by hand? It's time for our saucy pink mound to rub all over that paint pot. Yes. Get you plugged in. Oh, you have it already? Do I have it? Sometimes you gotta get that angle change in there so y'all can really enjoy the vortex motion. Is in the bundle. Bundle? I don't know what you're talking about. Bundle. Not offhand. I'm sure if we were chatting and not dealing with the delay of text and the confusion of a paint stream, I'd know what you're talking about. Alright, let's do two. How about a third and a fourth scoop? This stuff is kind of thin. It's mostly the air color. I did mix in the remainder of my layer paint. So we're going to do 1 drop of water in it. Not much because it's an air color, or mostly an air color. Get it good and stirred up. Alright. Give that brush a good washing. And I think we're going to swap to a bigger brush for this coating. This is a base coating effort here. Is that in the big cache you hooked me up with hypothetically? Yes. I don't know anybody that would do... Yeah, exactly. I have no idea what you're talking about. We don't actively support piracy in this community, no. That'd be silly. Alright, we're going to switch 3 round. It is a little stiff, so we're going to unlock our bristles with a little bit more acetone. I want y'all to know that I haven't taken my trash bag out from the other day when I ate a whole ass pineapple to myself, and I ended up using a single paper towel to wipe out the bowls before I put them in the sink that night. And I can smell that pineapple from my trash can about 6 feet away. Fresh piece of peace. That was a good pineapple. I may go downstairs and buy another pineapple after the stream. I like the thinness of some air paints because I run such a wet brush that consistency saves me time, lays correctly with minimal thinning. Oh yeah, I think air is the best quality, the best line of GW paints. Honestly, they could just release their whole line in air colors and not call them anything, and I'd be fine with that. They'd help people who don't thin their paints. I mean, just 1 drop of water in that, and it's like it's already the 2 thin coats consistency. Shit is magic, and it's still that GW like pigment quality and density that we've all grown to love. I mean, look, I don't hate on GW paint pots because they're bad paint, you know? With the exception of their whites. Their whites are really bad, all of them. I just hate on the pots. Sitting here thinking about, like, why don't they just sell them in bags? And then I was like, that's dumb. And then I'm thinking, what about a line of Country Fried Minis paint in a bag? and we just sell our colors in the bag. We also sell funnels and dropper bottles of 3 different styles. You put them in your own bottles. You just snip the corner of the bag and fill up the bottle of your choice. Alright, let's get that red on our melee arms. Now, if I recall correctly, we were doing not only red on the arm itself, but it's going to spill over a bit too, like a blood spattered attachment point. Ammo, MIG, and Model Air are super nice. Model Air, I don't know if I've tried them. I think it's so funny, Nathan, just to kind of call you out as a member of the community, that you know a lot about the paints, though you're not exactly a prolific painter. You've played with a lot of paints, and I will trust your knowledge on paints. I do need a full report of that at Crizion in '87, though. This guy. This shit is so good. I think I maybe need a new bottle of it, too. There's about a fifth of it left in there. Alright, let's get a coat on this boy. Get a full coat on it. Can't remember if I did a darker color first on these guys, to tell you all the truth. But either way, we're going to have to Dunkin' Donuts this. And then it needs like some splattery streaks coming off. So that's what we'll do right now. What a weird mech this is. Scarabus. Just want some like reasonable spatter pattern type effect going on here. We don't want it extreme. Needs to be very reserved and easy to layer. I think that's plenty. I think that is plenty enough on this guy. And we need a little more coming in a downward direction, actually. Yep, that looks good. On to the next one. I paint a lot, I never finish a thing. Yeah. Just dump the little tube in the bottle of your... Yeah, exactly. The paint arrives like ketchup package with an included bottle. Exactly. Yep. And you only got to buy the the dropper bottles once. How's our boys looking here? Speaking of stuff in bottles, let me check in on these lads. I'm sitting here looking and thinking about it. I don't think I can get this open, y'all. Oh, there it goes. So I broke my pinky knuckle some years ago, and ever since then my grip strength has been really bad. Let's get one of these bad boys out real quick. I know I'm just distracting myself here, but I need to know. I need to know if the additional few days of soaking has done its job yet. Ish. I think this is indeed an animal. It's starting to come free. Oh my god, the blue enamel. Oh fuck. The blue enamel's coming off the white enamel that's underneath. Alright, yeah. Yeah, this is gonna need more time. What do y'all propose I do for this? Just every now and then take them out and give them a little scrub and then toss them back in the wash? I don't think the LA's Totally Awesome will like destroy them or anything, as it is styrene. Is there a thinner that works to remove enamels without destroying styrene? Seem to remember people use brake fluid for that. Get out your tattoo ultrasonic cleaner and jam that jar in it. I never actually did any cleaning like that. Everything was bagged and single use, so I never invested in a cleaner like that. Ultrasonic cleaner. I do have a little ultrasonic cleaner though. I think it's like one model at a time though. Would it be worth buying a ultrasonic cleaner for this project, you think? Like a bigger one? I'm sure they're fairly inexpensive. You get one that's like labeled for jewelry or whatever. What are we sitting at? 7:30. Almost 8. I'm gonna make a little progress on these tonight. I'd like to ideally get these lads base coated up enough to hit them with an ink wash. That's the plan. And we'll set out to work on these lads again on Monday, perhaps. Wednesday's got to be the Crater Cobras, because I have a game on Thursday. Crystal red's such a good color. You just tried priming over the old paint. Is it overly thick, blurring details? Some of it, yes. Camo sucks. I kind of partially agree, Vandal Noir. I do think it's also really liberating. In some aspects, because you don't have to worry so much about highlighting too much. You just highlight in a very targeted way. Neighbor is moving their dining room tables around, it sounds like. It must be a nightmare trying to like hold on to a semblance of like dining space in a studio. That's what it sounds like, at least, that they're moving like a fold-away table around. They can be inexpensive. Okay. I have a little one that's like the size, I could maybe fit 2 models in it. I actually haven't tried it out yet. Maybe I'll try that out and do these models one at a time before I commit to buying another hobby room upgrade. All right, let's do our little blood splatters here now. So we just want some, like, sizable streaks. I don't think I want it up on the gun at all, so it'll be more reserved on top. bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Probably just me. I'm batch painting 32 vehicles in desert camo right now. Well, yeah, I definitely think batch painting more than 10 at a time, you really start to suffer. But I'm looking at it this way. It's gonna suck now, but when they're done, and you set them all back and you're like, fuck yeah, it's always worth it. It's no secret to regulars of the channel that I actually hate painting. I hate the process. But anytime you finish up the work that you're doing, you set them down and you like regard your handiwork. Oh, so good. It makes every bit of the back pain and eye strain worth it. There we go. Got a nice little spatter pattern kind of hanging out on the shoulder. Looking good. Looking tasty. I like this track too. Of course I do. It's Lupus Noctis. Gaining season. Just picture like an 8-bit orangutan in a pink wife beater, like pumping iron to this. So good. And then you get to say to your friends, look at my cool shit. Yeah, exactly. I do love when you go to the games day and you got your freshly painted set and you slap them down on the table and you're like, look at what I did. And your friends are like, oh my God. And they pick it up and they look at it and they're like, that's so cool. And then they're all like, look what I did. Boom, they slam it down on the table. Dice go flying, models break, and you're like, fuck yeah. And then you kiss and it gets weird. And they kick you out of the store. Next thing you know, you're getting arrested for sexual assault. Wait. Forget that last one. I think the thing I hate about this, I'm purposely trying to be uncreative with patterns, to avoid patterns because camo, which just means monotonous painting. Yes, I agree. I think you're right there. And it is, especially, well, with that many, you're just, even the basic of the most basic task gets really exacerbated. And camo, you can't even break it down to like repetitive sections. You're just having to think about the application as part of the application step. And I think that really complicates things when you're dealing with like 30 plus models. I remember times when painting on my Space Marines, I'd be doing like a huge batch of them and I would just paint like a single armor panel on all of them. I'd do the whole squad at once. I'd paint like the left toes and set it down, and then do like the back of the heel, boom, times 10, and then the rim of the boot. You can't really do that with camo painting because you're painting splorches. All right. I can't see that vote on here. Didn't I list a vote on the stream? Can't see it here. Let me see for a second. real quick, y'all. Thought I put one up. What am I looking for? Rasalhague again. Ah, yes. There it is. People like the edging and the base coats. I knew there was a thing. I had to open it up on a different device as my personal account and not Country Fried Minis. I'm personally partial to the base coating. I love slapping a little paint on models in a haphazard fashion and then seeing it like tighten up to their surfaces as it dries. I think it's really cathartic. You know, sometimes when you're really down and out, edging is like too much work. You need to be able to summon a little enthusiasm for that, you know? But that said, I don't know, edging a model just right leads to some really fantastic finishes. It does prolong the process though, quite a bit. And I think that's why people like elect to go with dry brushing, or like slap chop fashion, speed paints, you know, so you don't have to meticulously rub every edge, caress all them high points. Alright, I think that's got a decent base coat on this. No, we gotta get up underneath it. Can't forget the undercarriage. Give those pits some love too. Often neglected in the process. Alright, now we want some splatter details coming up off of that. I think I may go back to that Timberwolf for a while. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Base coat and edging are tied at 33%. Yes. Well, they were, right? Until I put my vote in. I had to log in as Cameron to see it. For some reason, I can't view my poll on the little phone here, where I'm logged in as Country Fried Minis. This one is getting a big spatter across the gun. We're supposed to look a bloody mess. It's almost kind of like almost a Blakist paint job, now that I'm really sitting here thinking about it. I really need to see how the client feels about some symbology on them. I think these could look really good with a few markings from the first Hussars on them. This one is tough to reach. Get those little splats in where I want them. Looking good. Looking good enough, I should say. Alright, that looks decent and passable. I'm going to extend this spatter back to the back. There we go. Cool. Alright, let's put a little more red out and do a second Dunkin' Donuts coat. Do a second layer, and then what we'll do, we'll switch back to some more squares. I need to clean these lads as well. This is going to be really problematic. It's been like some kind of almost like a chemical interaction with the poster tack on these guys. Well, maybe it's just on the one. Yeah, it's just on this guy. Got crammed in those feet. I think even if a little bit gets stuck under there, it'll be minimized when we glue it down. All right, where was I? Talking about 6 things at once. I'm looking for my 6 brush again. That's what I'm doing. 6. That's a 4, but it's good enough. Let's get my fist on red. Slap a little bit more down. We did 4 scoops last time. I think we'll do the same. It's not quite enough. We'll do a 5th. There we go. A single drop of water. Fun little hobby tip for y'all. Next time you find yourself ordering online or whatever you're after, toss a bag of plastic pipettes in your cart. If you get a big bag of like 100 of them, it'll last you literally forever. And your hobby experience will thank you for it. I voted base coat because I'm a gooner, not an edger. You're making a mess though. I also voted base coats because I too am a gooner, not an edger. Can always go for more, even if they're quick-lived, you know what I'm saying? No need to prolong the effort. Sometimes a quick one is fantastic. It doesn't always have to be a marathon. Plus, if you really want a marathon, you can sprint like, you know, multiple times. Anyhow, that's enough gooning talk with Cameron. Is our Scarabus dry? It is. Alright. And see, because we did those other ones, and we're batch painting the 3 of them, we're ready to move back to that first one and spread that thin stuff all over it once more to get that proper Dunkin' Donuts glaze. It'll make it nice and vibrant and well colored. All right, y'all. Should I stop? Is it time to stop the gooning talk and shift back towards wholesome content here? Or is this a door that, once open, can never be closed? I'm kind of leaning towards the latter. But it has crossed my mind to try and inject a little bit of that original wholesome intent back into the content. It doesn't all have to be dicks and butts. I mean, really. You throw some tits in the mix, too. It's time for wholesome content. No. I'll tell you what. I'm going to challenge myself. The next 10-minute mini episode that comes out will be completely devoid of sex jokes. Wholesome gooning. I don't think it can be wholesome. I think the very thought of that is just like deeply depraved fucking goblin style. You know what I'm saying? Gooning itself is a hedonistic ideal. You can't. There's no such thing as wholesome gooning. Alright, there's one red boy with two coats. Two thin coats, as Dr. Donuts has insisted. We're even using the proper Games Workshop colors. You know, speaking of Dunkin' Donuts, I wonder what the reasoning behind him leaving Games Workshop was. Was it something to do with, like, them shifting their policy away from personalities on Warhammer TV? Is that the same reason that other lady left? I can't remember her name. She's doing Rogue Hobbies now. Games Workshop striving to make their presentations about the model and not at all about the personality presenting the content, which is stupid. Which is really stupid. I mean, honestly, if you're watching the models for the models, you're not watching the entertaining factors of the presenters. You're watching shit like what about like a Camo Specs painting video, right? Like those are really informative and good content, but they are dry. I'm saying that people out there watched Mr. Duncan Rhodes for the model he's painting and not to see his take on it and hear him say two thin coats or multiple thin coats. I don't think so. Alright, let's get some red on the previously applied red. Get our two thin coats coated with thin red. This one's tough to get up under there. It's a neat mech, by the way. White Rook Studio Stormbringer. Not a cannon mech. I wonder if they have rules for it anywhere. Let's see, what would it be? To me, it looks like PPC or cannon potentially. But given that it looks like a Warhammer, I'd say it's probably a PPC. PPC, maybe a small laser on the head, a flamer here on the chest, and a rotary AC2. It's got little tiny barrels on it. That's what I'm thinking. I do like a rack too, actually. there's a field gun variant for infantry that uses one. I think it's either 3 or 4 of them in a unit, actually. Alright, and now that we've done all 3 of those, it looks like our Berserker is ready for a second coat. So let's spread some red. I'm just going to haphazardly slap it on there, making sure we're coating all that area once more. We don't have to take any care here, except for not touching the body and ensuring that all the little crevices have a little bit of paint in them. Because it's thin, even if we apply it a little too thick to a section, it'll still flatten out and adhere to the surface curves of the model without obscuring detail. Which is really important on models like this right here, because there's little crevices that are demanding some paint. All right. Who this? Ingrid Witt. Alright, we're flying along now. Model's pretty much based. Speaking of based, I do enjoy a Berserker. If you guys haven't played with this chassis yet on the tabletop, I highly recommend it. It's too good. It's got ERPPC, 2 large pulse lasers, and a flamer. And then of course it's got a hatchet. And you've got 2 variants. I believe the one with the large pulse lasers has mask. And then there's one variant that has some other weapons on it. A different weapons loadout with triple strength myomer. So you end up with like I think it's a 30 damage hatchet swing. It's a really cool mech. Can't remember who did this chassis in this style, but I mean it does an alright job of replicating a Berserker. It looks a little bit too much like an upsized Victor for my personal tastes. There is another variant that looks more like the original art out there. Another STL, I should say. I have it. I can point you in the right direction if you want one. Let me know on the Discord. Shoot me a message. Alright, we got red on the 3 boys. Let's move on to... I think we need some dark colored squares now. That's where we're at. Let me bring out this camera a little bit. Gotta close the full screen preview and pull this software up. Let's just bring it out to the 90-degree field of view. Boom. All right. Let's start with a little bit of... I think we'll try out our German gray, although it looks like it's a little too close to the base color to be useful. We may have inadvertently made German gray, mixing the black and the medium sea gray. Let's take a peek. See how it looks compared to this color right next to it. I think it's basically the same color. Okay. What do we do here then? What about black softened with a touch of this? Looks a bit more blue. Yeah, I'll medium sea gray you. No, look, it's very light colored. I maybe need a new one of these. Sounds like and feels like there's about half of it left. All right, let's put 1 drop of water. Should be sufficient. Maybe 2. Actually 3. I want this stuff pretty thin. I need a nice dark gray that is definitively darker than the other ones we were using. But I don't really want to go full black with it. Yeah, that looks about right. There's a noticeable change. I know the camera picks it up as more pronounced than it is. The difference between these two tones is not as pronounced. Have I lost the internet or the stream die? Nope, whatever happened, it's fixed. I think maybe neither of those things. All right, let's go back to our wrong brush. Where's it at? Look, this is what I'm keep glancing up at, trying to find a specific brush in. I think that's it right there. All right. Okay. All right, Scarabus first. Same shit that we did before. Just gonna paint on little squares. We're gonna do like 7 of these. Here and there. Every now and then. There's 2. Let's do a third on the hip here, maybe. That. Let's do a 4th on the chest. Do a 5th on the arm. Number 6 on the back of one of these legs, maybe? Yeah, right here. Number 7 will go up on the shoulder. I think this needs another one somewhere. Put an 8th one down here on the leg. Get a little more contrast on that shadowed region. All right, 1 down. Next, we'll go with this boy. I think number 1 gonna go on the head. First off, pal. right there. Number 2, gonna build upon this pattern. Uh-oh. What's that?
Ro subscribe to the channel.
Well, thank you for the subby, Ro. Welcome, welcome. I hope whatever content that brought you here was entertaining. And keep an eye out for more. Nathan was not affected. Okay. So that's 2 so far. Let's do a third right here. Across this like tow hook and these panels here. Really break up some of the lines with it. Alright, number 4 will go. Just made a hole in that. Number 4 is going to go boldly right on the leg here. Number 5, I think, is going to go on the top of this gun arm. Just like right there. Boom. It's a little too thick there. I'm going to lift some of that paint off. Alright, number 6. I think somewhere on the back here. Maybe spreading out right here where we had that uncured resin problem, which is now cured but still super shiny. Yeah, I think that resin like did some kind of chemical mixing with the paints there. Let's put another one here. Let's put another one, I don't know, right here. Is there anywhere screaming for another one of these panels? Yeah, down here. Do one right there. Boom. Alright, that's enough on that one. We'll go to the next guy. I'm kind of liking the look of the dark panels, though. I think we may need to go back in and do a few black ones as well. Alright, one on the hammer Stormbringer. We'll do number 2 on it. Number 3 will go here. Number 4 down here. All right. Number 5. Number 6, I think we want to do one on the inner surfaces here. Yeah, I was trying to do just 7 of them, but the contrast provided by this dark color just looked too good to not get them on there. The high contrast of these dark panels will show up really well even after we put the ink wash on. Slap one up under here. See, this is like a dark shaded region, so the the really dark gray still provides some nice contrast. And it's super visible. Let's do one on the head. Boom. I think the trick with a pattern like this is just to be brave with it. Be the brave little toaster. Do what you will. Go to Mars. And win it back with the might of your lance. Challenge the local duchy to a battle of champions. And chop him in half with your berserker. You can't rule a planet after you've been crushed from a cockpit strike and are dead. Well, I guess you could if you had like a nice puppet system in place to handle things after your death. But still. Ooh, that farty synth. Alright, I am liking these dark squares. Let's put in some black ones. There's a fine art to cooking an egg so that only the yolk remains uncooked. You talking like gummy center hard-boiled eggs like you get in a good bowl of ramen? Or are you talking like over medium cooking so that the white is fully cooked and you still get that nice runny gummy yolk all over your biscuits? You know, I need to go on record here and remind folks that even though I am personally a vegan, I'm not opposed to the consumption of eggs, personally, myself. My choices are based on the scale of industry and the awful atrocities that befall the animals due to the industrial system. I think if I had a way and land for it, I would probably own chickens and eat their eggs. Yes, that ramen, but also for breakfast you can get it all over the all over you. Yeah, dude. The runny egg was part of my my 3 a.m. drunken burgers at the Waffle House. Super important. The order was, this is back when I was a drinker and a meat eater, mind you. You go to Waffle House, you need to be piss drunk. You need to be piss drunk, or at the end drinking for the night. And it needs to be stupid late. That's why I say 3 a.m. You go to the Wahoo, you park up, get you you order a double cheeseburger. Order a double cheeseburger, and you have very specific instructions. It's a double cheeseburger served open face, meat and cheese and bread on both sides. You can leave the mayo on the burger if you want, but usually a plain burger is the way to go. Open face cheeseburger, meat, cheese, and a fried egg on both sides. So 2 fried eggs added to the burger. Over easy. So nice and cooked with a runny yolk, and then a scoop of white gravy over top each half of it. And you eat the whole mess with a fork and a knife. It was fucking fantastic. Something special about it. And the Waffle House The Waffle House can accommodate that at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And you can have a nice, pleasant, drunken conversation with your waiter, waitress. And be like, "This is what I need," and they're like, "Got you, Shug." And then you over tip because you're drunk, and everybody has a good time about it. Big recommend. Try it out. Alright, I think that's enough black spots for this feller. We don't want him looking like a cow. Yeah, we'll do one more right here. As far as like these dark black ones, I'm trying to keep them to spots where they're going to touch other squares. I don't really want any of them floating in space by themselves. Alright. We also want to keep them away from wherever we've got the dark gray already. And we can also go a little smaller with some of these too. Do one there. Let's do one here. We're just looking for spots that are like, oh, that's not dark enough, or like it doesn't have enough contrast. Right here. And we're going to put this where it breaks up the lines, and it breaks up the two things as well. Yes, very nice. Let's do one right. We have a gray one there, so let's put a black one here, right on that titty. Okay. I want to continue this trend up here. Let's put one on the corner of that gray. Fill it in. I think I want to do a second one on the head here. Boom. And then this one, we got a gray one there already. So I want to look for a spot. Let's put a black one right here. If you got to think about it too much, just skip it, you know? If you're having to think about it, it doesn't need to go there. There we go. That looks good enough. We'll move on to the next guy. Same deal. We're going to look for spots that are not too close to the dark gray, but could use a little more contrast on our squares. Find some good spots for it. It looks like I have really good distribution already for the darker colors. So we don't want to overdo it on this guy. Just looking for spots that could really benefit from it. Like right here, I think wants a bit of black. We have the dark gray there, so we can put some right here. Got a little too much paint on that. Okay, there we go. Got some there. Got some there. Get a little dark back here maybe. Kind of wrapping around the inner thigh. There we go. Looks all right. I want to get some more on the gun. I think I really neglected the gun earlier. So let's fix that some. I think this actually needs another patch of the lighter gray somewhere on here. It's almost the same color as the zenithal coat, actually. Try to get one right. There we go. I don't know why I neglected that gun arm. Let's see if we can't get some of this light gray on it too. Oh shit, that stuff is dried out. Dried out on my wet palette. You had one job, wet palette. You had one job, wet palette. Let's get a drop of water on this brush here so we can't reconstitute a little bit of this light gray. I want to get a little extra contrast right here. There we go. Okay. All right, I think that's all our splotches for tonight. And we're coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. So what I think I'm gonna do is we're gonna take our NULN oil wash and we're gonna mix some up. We're gonna hit these boys with a wash and we'll call it tonight. I will be back probably tomorrow or Sunday. Expect a whole bunch of painting this week, so if you want to come through and see how projects are evolving, keep an eye out. I'm going to be streaming real heavy this week, kind of getting back to a workflow, because I got a lot that's got to get done by the end of the month. A whole hell of a lot of painting, as well as I want to get this video out too, so there's a Iron Wind Metals video on the horizon. If you don't know, if you're not a community member, a Discord using community member, know that that's coming soon. Waiting on some footage, and I've got about probably 10 more minutes of footage to edit down. Like total finalized length is about 10 more minutes to go through. All right, let's hit these boys with some NULN oil. This may not be light enough, to be honest. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I'm gonna rinse this boy quick. I apologize for blowing into the mic there, but it was necessary. All right, I'm thinking another, like, I don't know, 4 drops of water. I want this to be a pretty thin mix of Nuln oil. Let's start with our Berserker then. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Looks a lot better. I want it to just, I really don't want it to stain the surfaces too much. And I'm going to be hitting the thing everywhere. There's also an issue with my choice of grays. Because I used the primer. Fuck. I just had another crisis and realized where I screwed up. Let me rinse that as good as I can. I was just saying that because I used the primer, the Stynylrez primer, as my surface, it kind of absorbs the wash color into it and stains the surface really readily, so you have to be aware of that and keep it really thin. But it just hit me that I have not done the I've not done the metallics yet. I've not done the metallics yet. So let's do that. And I think if we do the metallics and then the Nuln Oil wash, that should put us right about 30 more minutes. We'll be ready to roll. What color did I use on these fellers? That looks like duraluminum. Can't really tell. Can't really tell. It may be duraluminum. I think it's duraluminum on the housings, and then the other color on the joints. That's what it looks like to me. We'll go with a little bit of duraluminum. Let's dig out. I think maybe that same small brush we were using. Where'd it go? There it is. This boy is still soaking wet. I gotta wait on these to dry. I tell you what. I tell y'all what. I gotta wait on these to dry, so I think I'm gonna call it for the evening. Next steps on these fellers is gonna be two colors of metallics, and then we're gonna hit them with an ink wash, and that'll get those boys up to the same standard as these fellers. So I think what I can do is tomorrow or Sunday, whenever I get back at these lads, we can dive right into some edge highlighting and color cleanup. And then I've got the bases ready to go, so we can work on those next. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to run downstairs and get... I want to get a pineapple. I really want a pineapple after kind of discussing it. And I want to hit them before they close. So I want to thank y'all for stopping through tonight and checking out what we got going on here in the corner. It's good to get back at it. This is what I was planning on having done on Wednesday, so we're a little behind in that regard. So keep an eye out for more painting sessions right here in the corner. In any case, that's all I got this evening. I've been Cameron on behalf of Country Fried Minis. I want you all to remember to be happy while you're painting, and to know that your participation here on Country Fried Minis makes me happy while I'm painting or editing or just hanging out, whatever. Make sure to come through and check out the Discord if you're not already. And if you really like what's going on over here and you got a few extra dollars in your wallet, consider joining up on Patreon. It's the best way to support what I do. It also indirectly benefits other creators because those funds get used to, pay my bills, but they also get used to pay other creators, to support other people on Patreon. So yeah. You'll get your name in the credits and my eternal thanks, as well as the occasional exclusive update. But if you don't want to give any money, just hit that like button. Like, sub, comment, all those good things that YouTube loves to help this Country Fried experiment spread to more folks. Anyhow, yeah, I'll have an update on these tomorrow, Sunday, not really sure yet, but new stream coming up real soon. Anyhow, that's it for reals, and I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye-bye.